Hi, everyone, and welcome to Navigate Life Mindfully. This is episode number 13, Negative Self-Talk. I'm Ron Demonet, and my goal, as always, is to show you how much more control we have over our lives than we think. We're not victims. And in the process, I'm going to introduce some simple tools that we can use every day to navigate life with more ease, and along the way, bring about the changes that we want in our life. So if this is something you're interested in, you want to learn more about, I'll ask that you please like and subscribe to our channel below and join us on this journey. So let's dive into this week's episode, Negative Self-Talk. Most everyone has this inner conversation going on most of the time. I call it the monkey mind. It's jumping from subject to subject. And most of the time it's pretty mundane. But then something comes along that really catches your attention. It invokes a negative reaction, something that stirs up negative feelings. Then that inner conversation has a tendency to go from bad to worse. And of course, that happens if we're not aware of it. So in these situations, we tend to look for someone or something to blame. Something bad happens, it's somebody's fault. Finding fault. All too often, unfortunately, the subject of this blame game is us. We start saying things to ourselves like, God, I can't believe I just did that. Or I am so stupid. How about, I never do things right. If it wasn't for bad luck, I'd have no luck at all. I knew this was going to happen. I could have predicted that. Nobody ever listens to me. And the list of this negative self-talk goes on and on and on. It's all there, always there. We can be our own worst critic. And in that process, we tend to fall into the victim mode. That's a space where nothing good happens. Because you convince yourself that everything is stacked against you and you just can't win. You're a victim. You have no power. And once you convince yourself of that, you're forming a limiting belief. You're writing a negative program in your subconscious mind. And then you're going to go on and create more situations like that because that negative program is going to be playing over and over in the back of your mind. Unconsciously, but it's there. It becomes a loop that plays itself out time and time again. So let's talk about that loop for just a minute. So this is a diagram I put together. I call the loop. It's what we get stuck in. An incident happens, a life situation, whatever happens, and it triggers an emotional reaction. And then this emotional reaction goes on to create thoughts and other emotions and even body responses. Get the hair up on the back of your neck, so to speak, or you start sweating, a fearful thing. And that goes on to create or reinforce a personal belief in your subconscious mind. And once these subconscious beliefs are formed, they're going to go on and lead to actions that create more of the same. Now, you may not create the exact same incident again, but you're going to create an incident that will bring up those feelings, those thoughts. And so that's where we are in the loop. And you get stuck there, and you can't get out of it, and it's really tough. So, we're not victims, right? How do we break out of this loop? Well, going back to the same chart basically we had before, but with a twist. An instant, a life situation happens, and that triggers an emotional reaction. Right then and there, imagine a red flag just waving right in front of your face. And then what it's saying is stop. Do not react to this. Stop. Be present. Be aware of what's happening. And then you can change this. Again, you are not a victim. So what you do at this point, being aware of something going on, you initiate a technique to break out of the loop. And I'll talk about some of these techniques in just a minute. And so you continue that breaking out technique over and over again until you notice a change. You will actually notice a different feeling in your body. You will notice something that's changed. And what's happening is you're rewriting that old belief. You're establishing a new belief. And so as you create a new set of personal beliefs, they're going to lead to a new set of actions that create a new reality, create what you want. So you've been successful. You've broken out of that loop. So what are some of these techniques I talked about for breaking out of the loop? Well, the first one is just really simple. It's just breathe. Focus on and listen to your breath. If you put your attention on your breath, you listen to it, you hear the sound of the in-breath, you hear the sound of the out-breath. Thoughts can't get in the way then because you're focusing on your breath. You know the old saying, you just need to count to 10 sometimes. Well, there's a lot of truth to that because what you're doing is you're just breathing and relaxing and focusing on something other than that bad instant that sends you down a rabbit hole. Just breathe. Second thing is repeat a simple word or phrase, your own personal mantra. And this is something that, just create for yourself. What would you like to create in your life? I am a strong and healthy person, or I am a confident, competent person, whatever it may be. Create your own mantra. And then when something like this happens, when something gets triggered in you, just focus on repeating that word, that phrase. And again, when you're doing this, when you have these conscious thoughts and you're repeating that, the other thoughts can't sneak in. You've got control of your mind then, your personal mantra. Third thing, just shift your focus to your positive personal attributes. If you sit there and you think, God, I am so stupid, just say, whoa, wait a minute, red flag. You know what? I'm not stupid. I'm very intelligent. I'm very competent. I do really well in life. And talk to yourself. Tell yourself about all your positive attributes. Don't let these little negative things sneak in. And because what you're doing then is you're rewriting that. Just say, whoa, wait a minute. I'm not stupid. I know I'm smart. I know I'm capable. So again, shift your focus. Focus on positive personal attributes. Fourth thing is very simple, and I talk about this at the end of every podcast. Think about the things you're grateful for, whatever it is. Could be something small, could be something large, something you're grateful for. Being grateful, gratitude is actually a vibrational state that you set up in your mind, in your body. And it's a higher vibrational state than fear and anger, all those things that send you down a rabbit hole. So when you start thinking about gratitude, things you're grateful for, you really raise your personal vibration. And then these other things can't sneak in. This negative self-talk can't sneak in because you've taken yourself to a higher vibrational level. So I know I can sound like a broken record at times, but I'm going to say it again. We are not victims. We have much more control over our lives than we think we do. We just have to be conscious. We have to be aware. We have to be awake. We have to understand what's going on. Over time, you're going to create new and positive internal programming, some new beliefs. And that's ultimately going to result in forming new and positive habits, which go on and translate into bringing new, good, better things into your life. It's just that simple. It's not necessarily easy, but it is that simple. So let's talk about your assignment for the coming week. Your assignment this week is to simply listen to yourself more. Pay attention to what you say. Your words matter. You got to realize this. Your words matter, so listen to what you're saying. Be aware of what you're saying. When you say something negative about yourself or your life, whatever, let that be a red flag. We talked about that red flag earlier. Just visualize a red flag waving in front of your face saying, whoa, wait a minute, stop. And then remember that loop, remember that diagram, and how to break out of that loop. Practice some of the techniques. You'll find that they really work. And all of a sudden, as you start doing this, it's reinforcing. Whoa. I can do this. I do have more control over my life than I thought I did. It's good. In our next episode, we're going to be talking about living intentionally, making conscious choices, and creating the world that you really want. Well, I'm going to wrap things up for now. Remember, 2 simple things that'll make an immediate positive impact on your life. Number 1, gratitude. Be grateful. Just be grateful for the good things you have in your life. And it can be something small. It could be having a nice, comfortable bed to wake up in the morning, having a roof over your head, listening to the birds sing outside. Something. Be grateful. Make note of those things. Remember, the more grateful you are for what you have, the more you will have to be grateful for. Like I said before, gratitude is a vibrational state that you set up in your body. It's a state of mind, and it leads to more good things. Gratitude. Second thing, be kind. Just be kind. Show people grace. Show yourself some grace. We have no idea what's happening in other people's lives. They don't know what's happening in your life. Show them a little grace. Cut them some slack. Cut yourself some slack. It's good. Words matter, so use kind, respectful words when you speak. Those 2 things. Gratitude and kindness, they will make an immediate impact on your life, an immediate positive impact on your life. Try it. Well, I'm going to say so long for now. If you have any comments or questions, please visit my website, rondemonetcoaching.com, or just send me an email directly at rondcoaching@gmail.com. I'll try my best to get back with you, either personally or on air, but reach out. I'd love to hear from you. And I ask again, please like and subscribe to the channel. I would love to get this information out to as many people as I can. I would really enjoy making a positive impact on people's lives. I think I said that in the very first episode. I love helping people to help themselves. I love being a life coach. So with that, I want to say thank you. Thanks for tuning in. And look forward to seeing you next week. Bye for now.